Alright, hello, and welcome to another video. Hopefully this will be uploaded this time. Just thought I'd give everybody an update with what's going on in the world with the car, at least the one I'm sat in, that is. This one's the Volvo, as I'm sure everybody is knowing. Sorry, I'm just playing with stuff. So the Volvo. So I have done some stuff with the Volvo and forgot to video it, and then forgot to upload said video. Helps if I made the video in the first place, right? Anyways, so that's done. Now the coil pack says, so it's running better on all 5 cylinders, which is nice because the car was running on 4 cylinders, if everyone remembers rightly. Anyway, so on 4, we bought the car and then we drive it from Basingstoke back to Southampton on 4 cylinders, and then proceeded to drive the car from Southampton to Bournemouth about a month or 2 later, again on 4 cylinders. Surprisingly, it made it all the way there and back, so that's fine. The car's been running fine. It's not been an issue with the fact that it's been running on 4 cylinders instead of all 5, but yeah, it just was a little bit annoying to keep driving the car and seeing an engine light on the damn thing. So, you know, I fixed it. And then, what's next to do on the car? Oh yeah, brakes are next. I finally found out what the rattle was under the right hand side of the car, so yeah, that was a bit interesting to find out. Anyway, so yeah, the guy that bought it off of Steve was really cool. He thought it was the right hand strut, which is not. It's ironically the protector plate that sits behind the brake calipers and pads to stop the brake dust going into all of the running gear and stuff and ruining the running gear. So that's what the rattle is, which is great, apart from the fact to replace one singular one, it's going to cost 50 quid, which is fine because I need to replace it for its MOT because either it won't pass. So either way, it's got to be done. If I'm going to do one, I might as well do 4 because it just makes sense. The same with the brakes. I'm not doing just one blimmin' brake on the whole car, even though I know exactly it's just the right hand side that's the issue. It just makes more sense to do all 4 brakes and all 4 discs and the whole shebang. And then after that, fun tango bit, I've got to then do the struts on the rear. 100% they are busted, at least that's what it said on the MOT certificate last. So still got to do shocks on the car. So that'll be interesting to do shocks on the back of the car, which means I can buy the original shocks for the car instead of getting upgraded ones. But I probably will get upgraded ones because it's just easier. Because for the original ones, they're like, you know, 150, I believe, like just for 2. You know, you gotta, a lot of the parts for this car either gotta overnight from the US or from Sweden or Australia. It's a pain in the ass, especially for bigger parts, like no joke. And when I mean bigger, I don't mean like just bigger than a normal thing. I mean like big. So like, you know, to clarify, the boot struts, which are now fixed, they had to be overnighted from America because apparently we don't have any here in England. A little bit annoying. Beyond that, and the fact that it needs a service, and the fact that it needs brakes, and then I need to go and get a sensor for it, so there's one other light can get off my dash, it would be nice. I don't think I can turn the camera around. It's slightly annoying actually, because I would like to halfway through, but yeah, I can't. So there's that. Yay. Otherwise I'd show you the light, I mean. So yeah, the light on the dash, so it means the physical light means that there's low coolant in the car. So effectively the car thinks it doesn't have coolant, which is factually incorrect because I've checked it time and time again and it's fine. So yeah, the thermostat works fine, the head gasket is fine, the car holds temperature really well, surprisingly, or at least what it should be holding at. It doesn't really go above or below that line unless the car's turned off, so it's fine. You know, I've fucking tried and it's fine, so probably just needs a good service and she should be okay, hopefully. Driving it just now up and down the driveway here, it had a bit of a funny 5 seconds and decided to show another engine light, so I'm gonna guess it just means it needs a service. So, you know, that will consist of spark plugs, air filter, what else do I need to do? Air filter, spark plugs, oil filter, cabin filter. I've got to try and find that. I think it's under the bonnet on the passenger side of the car. Then I've got to find the fuel filter in this car, because I would like to change the fuel filter in this car, considering you know, don't have the money to go and get some more fuel for the car. So it'd be a good idea to replace the fuel filter in this car. I think it deserves it after 256,247 miles. I think this car would like a new fuel filter, and then possibly even a new fuel pump, because that would be nice. It'd just be nice to do to the car, you know. And then eventually, with money, possibly even the fuel rail, fuel injectors. Like, it shouldn't be too hard to do that, right on top of the engine. The most hardest bit for me to do on this car, or at least anything to do on this car, is the fact that I don't have another person to do stuff with. So I'm doing majority of the stuff solo, which is fine because I prefer working alone than with someone. But again, when it comes to crazy bonkers stuff that I'm doing, I kind of need 2 people. So it's a bit of a pain in the ass, as I'm sure everyone can appreciate and imagine. But everything else with the car is as good as it was when I got the car. Everything is as what it was, minus changing the stereo, because, you know, no one buys cassettes, and CDs are a pain in the ass to carry in the car because that means the car's rattling when I'm driving. Shove that crap. Anyway, so update on driving for that matter, since, you know, I'm not actually driving the car per se, it's just going up and down the driveway here, which is quite big for where I am. So it doesn't leave the driveway ever. The car factually cannot leave the driveway ever until either I pass or I find someone that's nice enough to take it down to the garage for me once I've fixed everything. Anyway, so update on me passing my test anyways. So I've done my theory test twice now, and I've been close to passing twice, so hopefully the 3rd time I get it. So this time around I aced the multiple choice, luckily enough. Absolutely aced it by 1 point, I think, or 2 points, which is good, you know, and it's pretty positive. I did some like majority of tests, like mock tests the night before, and just before I went I was like rapping through with the multiple choice, because I knew multiple choice was going to screw me over more than my hazard perception. But surprisingly, my hazard perception screwed me over more than the multiple choice, so either that tells me I need to get back in the car and drive, which means I need to do lessons again. Yay, fun times. Well, I don't care because it means I'm driving. To then re-anticipate hazards. But the hazard perception is very strange in how it's done. It scores you from when you notice the thing that you're meant to be noticing is a possible hazard, right to the point it is literally a hazard. So say if you're driving down the road and you've got a car coming out of a driveway and you see it move from the driveway, you've got to notice it as it's driving down the driveway, which is fine because, you know, that's what you would do, right? But it scores you from the moment the car physically moves on the video, and it scores you from 5 points right down to 1, which would be 1 being it physically in front of your car, and the moment the car becomes stationary on the video, it scores you 0. So that's fun, because if you, a lot of it is very weird. So when I did it, a lot of the videos made sense and I was fine with, and I got pretty good points on, so that's good. And then one I scored 0 on for no reason, which was interesting because I definitely scored the last one exactly when I should have, which is a little bit strange. But it is what it is. So yeah, that's fine. So hopefully when I do it again, when I get paid, I can do it again in July, hopefully, because that's when the next one is available. So which means I've got, what are we in now? May. I've got all of June to physically study on everything there is to study on the theory test, and then get some lessons in. So I need to drive a car again, right? Because then that gives me my spatial awareness and again all that crap. And then hopefully the third time around I pass it first time. That'd be nice. Then it'd be third time lucky. It's pretty normal for people to get it wrong first, second, third, fourth time anyway, so I'm not too beat up about it. I'm a little bit annoyed at myself, because the frustrating bit for me is I can physically drive a car, which is great, you know, because I can. It's just without this bullshit theory test I can't, which is really stupidly annoying, because I think for some people it would be unnecessary to do a theory test, you know, especially if you have really good control over the car. You know, you should just be given your license, your gooch, right? If it worked like that, I'd be fine, and this car would be on the road and be road tripping, and it'd be fucking amazing, because it's exactly what I want to be doing. You know, but amongst the other things to do with the car, sorry, I took the door card off because I had to fix the lock. Amongst other things to do with the car, I've got until October to get the car fixed, which is fine because the car will be fixed really soon. So, you know, another wait until I get paid and get some more parts, and then it'll be good to go, and it can go to its MOT and be fine. The car will have a valid MOT on it again. Again, it's getting it there and back, so that's the problem, which isn't a problem. So it is a problem, obviously, because I would like to you know, I would like, as I was saying, sorry, I've just noticed this old so anyways, so obviously my car being, oh, so this turns the side lights on. Neat. Anyways, so sorry, I'm fiddling around with the side light switch, because this car, the side lights, as all Volvos do, you can turn on permanently. So, you know, the moment you put the key in the car, the lights are on. The moment you take the key out, the lights are turned off again, which is great, because again, that's what all Volvos do. I was just seeing if it worked, and it does, which is good. Where was I talking before that? Oh yeah, the theory test and the practical test. So after the theory test and practical test, and the car's got its MOT, we'll be taking it out, and it's probably gonna go quite far, knowing me, because I like doing loads of crazy things, or at least I used to do loads of crazy things when I was younger. So, you know, I'm not gonna not be going places. So once I've passed my theory test and the practical test, and I've got my driver's license, which everyone will be updated when that happens, then, you know, we'll get some content out in the car, put all of the stuff back. But until then, I've got stuff to fix in the car. So that's fun. But the places we'll be going is just places that I've already been like before with my family. Just I'll be able to go alone this time, which would be the strangest experience in the world, you know, because it will be the first time I've ever driven myself somewhere without someone next to me. So it will be very daunting an experience. You know, I'm so used to driving with my mum sat next to me, which is again why the car's been sat for so long and nothing's been done with it. My mum's no longer around. So, you know, the car has been practically sat here on the driveway since October last year when she passed away. The last time the car got driven with me and my mum was we went to West, no, we didn't go to West End, dickhead. We went to Shirley and we went to the Pets at Home for my dog, who was in the car with me. He's behind there somewhere asleep. And then I think we went to the New Forest. Before that, we went to Bournemouth. So the last long distance journey this car really done was Bournemouth. There's been to Basingstoke in that before. You know, that's where it come from. I took it back more than once. You know. So it has been doing nothing for just over half a year. Now, before everyone starts asking, oh, why didn't you fix the car sooner? You had all that time, blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blahs. You're right. I did have all of that time in the universe between when my mum passed to get the car fixed. And you wouldn't be wrong for saying that. Now, the problem is even though me and my mum didn't always get on, it was still emotional for me to get through life without her. It still is, you know, she's my mum. It's going to be hard. You know, it's been an emotional toll on me for a while. You know, and it eats me every day I walk out here and do something with the car. You know, so there's that. And I could have fixed the car sooner. I had the money to do it. I've had the time to do it. I didn't really want to. I wasn't in the right mind frame to do so. So that's why it took so long to do anything with the car. So now I'm doing stuff with the car. You know, not just because I have a timeline to do it by, but because I want to. You know, I want to fix the car. I want to put this back on the road, and I want to take it places. So I'm just going to turn the heat on because I'm getting a bit cold in the car, and the car's warm, so I'll be good. Right, so that's that, right? Beyond that, and having a lot of struggles, depression and stress and other family drama that's gone on, Jesus Christ, this car needs to warm up sometimes. It's been okay, or as okay as it can physically get. But the good news is the Volvo lives on. Again, I'm currently sat in it. And if you remember rightly, I'm not sure if I did update everybody or not, but I did have my mum's Focus here. And I was going to do some videos on my mum's Focus and fix it and sell it on to then get parts for this. It didn't get to that stage. It became very tormenting from the family, just constantly on and on and on and on. And you know, you don't need two cars. Oh, it's just a waste of money. They're both sat there, blah 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 blah. You know, I wanted to do something to like pay back to mum's memory, right? So I wanted to fix mum's car, get it redone, MOT, all of that crap, and put it back on the road and then sell it online. right? Now, I'm pretty knowledgeable when it comes to cars. I know how much they should be, how much I should be charging, and all of this stuff. Mum paid £600 for her Focus at the time, right? And there was not really a lot wrong with it, to be perfectly honest with you. It was a Focus. It was used as a learner car, and it was pretty beat up, to say the least, and that's an understatement. Like, one of the mirrors was glued on, there was a massive dent in the back of the car, and all these other things. But it was like the perfect car for Mum. You know, she not long ago lost her previous car. She was still very nervous on the road, so I said to her, why not looking at getting a car from someone that not long ago passed their test, and they no longer need it because they've bought a new car. So it'd be like something old and pretty beat up, and it wouldn't matter so much, you know, because who cares, right? And if you crash it, beat it up, it's part of the car, you know. If it dies, scrap it, who cares, you know. You'll probably never get the money back for it anyways if you sold it on, which is true, right? Because again, scrap value for that car was like £209, and I got 203, so I got way below half for the car. So I just need to brighten up my phone so I can see what I'm doing. Which is fine, because I was selling the car privately for £350, so at least I got half the car's value back, right? And this was, I didn't fix anything, I just trying to sell the car as like spare or repair or something, or parts for someone else's Focus. What's up, mate? You know, so that was working fine, but people on the internet are just assholes, to say the least. Excuse my language, but they are. I got messed about loads, like, oh, we're coming to view the car, oh, we'll be around later today, blah, sort of thing. No one turned up. I even tried selling the car to my girlfriend's brother, right? Because he was looking for a car that was cheap, cheerful, easy to drive, and just a car, right? I have my steering wheel cover on incorrectly, but it doesn't matter. So I was going to sell it to him. He was interested in the car, he loved it. And then he bailed on me last second. He was like, no, I don't want it. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. So that's why I come to scrapping it, right? Because no one wanted the car and everyone was just messing me about, and I just needed to get rid of this car. So that's what happened with Mum's Focus. Anyways, so back to the Volvo. If you haven't watched any of the previous videos for the Volvo, this specific Volvo is a 1999 Volvo S70 2.5 litre petrol engine. It's got a 5-speed automatic gearbox. It has cruise control, it has heated seats, electric mirrors. It's basically the top of the range one minus a trim package, right? Because some of the cars and some of the things in the car are still bland and grey when they should be wood, for example. But that's fine, right? Because it's as good as this car needs to get, literally, you know. So it's fine for me. It's a saloon. It's not an estate. It looks like an estate. It's not. It's a saloon. There is a boot behind there somewhere. It's a saloon, right? It's a 5-seater saloon, and I love it, right? And there's a reason why I enjoy this car so much. You know, my uncles owned very similar cars to this. You know, my own parents have owned cars of this brand. So it's a bit of a family tradition thing to have a Volvo, right? So back to my uncles. So one of my uncles actually had one of these exact cars that I'm sat in this exact colour with this exact trim package. So that's why we bought the car, right? Because I knew it very well, and I was like, these cars go forever, they're the best ones, we'll go for it. I was going to settle on this, the S70, or the car before this being the 850, or the car in front of this, the V70, or the V70 of the same year car, so the estate version of this one. That's what I was looking at, and even possibly the XC70, again the estate all-wheel drive version of either this car or the year after this car, being the 2005 one, you know, which would be probably a D5 or a D4 engine, you know, which are bloody, again, bulletproof engines. So I was knowing what I was looking for. I even considered an XC90, which is like the big SUV 2005 D4 engines again, you know. I knew what I was looking for. That's the point. And I knew it had to be automatic. I wanted a manual car, so when I passed, I wanted a manual car, but Mum only had an automatic license. So for driving day to day, it was impractical for me to have a manual car. So I had to get an automatic car. So I did get an automatic car. I got this. This come up quite cheap, actually, considering for Volvo's sakes. This car was £950. I think the guy went down to like 900, I think. Not sure. No, we paid him 950 on the dot. He was asking 1,000, and I think we both settled on 950. It was pretty decent. And he was a really cool guy, Steve was. And, you know, I've spoken to him once or twice after I bought the car, just letting him know that he, you know, the car's great, it's been doing great, cheers dude, sort of thing. And I haven't really been in contact with him recently, even though he's like a Volvo nerd. But it's fine because, you know, I'm in multiple groups for this car, specifically in the year these cars were built, because this car is built on the P80 chassis, which is the chassis for 850s, V70s, S70s, C70s, and everything else in bloody between that. So luckily enough, this car I can get parts for pretty much anywhere. The mirrors are the same mirrors from the 850 cars, and I know that because they're identical in every way, apart from the 850s I think are a little bit more square than these ones. These ones are a bit more aerodynamic. I think Volvo changed it a little bit. But this car, interestingly, has two generations of itself. So this one, the 1999-2000 model, had a facelift, because the one before this one, so like the 98 and the 93 version, so the 93 to 98, had the previous generation face. So it still looked like an 850, but it was called the s70. So that's fine, right? And I can make this look like an 850. It's really not that hard to buy some wings, a bumper, and the lights on the front, and it will look like an 850, but it will still be registered as an S70. I don't want to do that, although that would be pretty neat to retrofit this car and make it look older than it really is. But no, I want to try and keep this car as true to its heritage as possible. That doesn't mean I'm not going to modify this car, right, at all. So it's going to be modified. Duh, it's my car. One of the things I'm going to be doing to this car, as modifications beyond repair, is the wind deflectors, right? So the wind deflectors that go here in the windows, like, I want those, right? Because the dog comes with us everywhere. And I mean everywhere, right? So it's important that I have something in place so he can come with us. So if it's raining, like it is a little bit today, we can open the window and it not get wet. I'll show you. So this is about how far the wind deflector will go and cover the window anyways. So that's fine, right? And you can see I've opened the window here. And as you can tell, which I didn't know with this car until just now, so this car already has tinted windows, right? They're a little bit smoked, which is fine, because these windows here at the back, so this one, that one over there, and the one before it, the other side of this window, I'm gonna tint them black, as the Ace of Spades, literally as black as they can go. Now, the front windows, depending on what the tint is already on here, I'll have to go and get a window tint tester and find out. I think they're already at 70%. I'm not sure. Pardon me. If they're not at 70%, then they'll be going to 70%, right? Because it stops a lot of sunlight coming in the car and it protects your eyes. And then the windscreen, well, I don't think we can do anything with the windscreen, because I want a sun strip on the windscreen again, because I had one on my Citroen Saxo, if everyone remembers rightly, and it was awesome because it covered a lot of the sun. But this car kind of comes with one already built in. It's blue, it's really cool, and obviously then you have this thing, right, and that covers a large majority of the windshield where the mirror's not, which is again fine. Happy with that, you know. Sorry, so as much as it's not insanely bright out there, it is for me. So that's what I want to be doing to the car. And then I'm changing the headlights to more modern projector lenses for a valid reason. Okay, so like the old school headlights that are in here are fine and they light up the road more than adequate enough. I just would like projector lenses in the car because apologies, it will future-proof the car for the next 5-10 years, right? Because projector lenses are brighter, they last, the bulbs in them last longer, and I can legally change it to LED. I'm just going to turn the car off because I need some fuel and it's just die another day. So, you know, there's JJ, there he is, see his little head. So that's that problem. And then beyond that, what else are we doing? Changing the fog lights. Now, this one's going to be a hard one for me to figure out, because I want to try and keep the original lens housing that the fog lights have, but take the light bit out of the lens and then buy a fog light that's the same diameter as the original one, and then slide it in there. So like it'll be the original glass housing, but it will have more modern fog lights. So again, they'll probably have a ring around them with a bulb in the middle, which will be great because then I can have the side light ring light up with the other ones. So both those side light rings will light up as one continuous thing, which will be really cool because it would be cool. But it's just figuring that out, and that's all at like a later date sort of thing. I'm not talking like right here, right now. The things that need doing right here, right now are brakes, shocks and all that jazz. But again, I have no one to help me to do all those things, and I can do all of those things on my own, and it's fine. I can totally 100% do them. Oh, apologies. It's just easier if someone helps me. That's all. But other than that, I think we've pretty much covered somewhat of an update to do with this Volvo, and for at least for one day. Hopefully, when I get some parts, I will remember to record it so I can upload the video to do it. But if not, then I will show you at least the completed product once it's done, right? Because that'll be fine. It's just I've had loads on my mind. I've been really ill and it's horrible. Still am ill, it's horrible, it's ongoing, and it's frustrating because no one seems to give two craps. other than that, it's been living life to the best of my abilities. But hopefully in a bit me and my girlfriend will go out. But before we do, I've got to close the windows, disconnect the battery and save the car. Right. So on whatever. It's just one of those things. But yeah, again, that'll be all for now. Oh, apologies again. So yeah, that'll be all for now. Appreciate it for watching and sticking with me for this long. I know I can be very, very, very extremely boring, and I don't mean to be. It's just I just had to do an update for at least something, right? But hopefully I'll be able to do some gaming videos again, and that will be fun to do. Or at least gaming videos from the Xbox and onto this platform. I mean, I can stream directly to Twitch and that's fine. You know, I know I can... I don't mind doing that. It's just not my forte to stream. It's better if I record and then upload later. But I'll have to get into this live streaming malark if I want to do anything. You know, anyways, again, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. And I'll see all of you guys another time. Or well, at least you'll see me another time. And maybe even possibly JJ down here. There he is. So me and JJ might be back another time. So that's all for now. Bye.